There we go. Welcome back, everybody. Now today, we're doing Somnium Files. I wasn't really feeling Scarlet Nexus today. It's what it is. But this is a little bit of an important change, so give me a sec to talk. Today, I'll be uploading the VODs to YouTube. My first, YouTube videos. I already got stuff uploading today, scheduled. I think my first one comes at 2, I think. I'm doing Trails of Cold Steel 2. And, Madden as my first 2 series on it. But yeah, I'm going to try to expand the fan base a little bit. Probably not by much, knowing my luck, but a little bit's a little bit. Anyway, come to Yakuza. He's wondering why the fuck we're in his office. Let's go talk to him.
I think we should exchange names before exchanging expletives.
Name's Moma, the Warhorse. Don't give a fuck what your name is.
Well, damn.
All right, Moma. I have a few things I want to ask you. What do you know about the new Cyclops serial killings? Shoko Nadami and Renju Okiura had their left eye pulled out and were murdered. And I think you know something about it.
Saw it on the news. But we had nothing to do with it. Even if we did, we wouldn't spill to no cops.
Alright then. If the guy Dante knocked these fools out. The skinny one, he's completely out.
There would be no point in talking to him in that state.
Hey, but look. A flying squirrel taking a nap.
It is clearly a tiger.
A tiger rug. These cigarettes. The fat one, he's holding his stomach in pain.
I got nothing to say to you.
Well, damn. Trying to be friendly. The company philosophy on the wall. If you accidentally enter a bar instead of a restaurant, don't feel obligated to order a drink. Even if the bartender gives you that order a damn drink look. That's quite the motto. A company philosophy is like a summary of the ideals and goals of a company. I just want to make sure I have all some kind of permit. Last month's schedules are on the board. 21st, Ikakin's beatboxing for beginners. There's a partition set up in the doorway, probably to obscure the view from visitors.
Hey, Iva. It's pronounced partition and not partition.
I know how it's pronounced.
I don't get that reference. Lockers are lined up on the wall. A chair. It's a desk. Probably belongs to somebody in the gang. A ton of things on top. I saw something green, I think. Nah. The door to the next room.
A bronze dragon.
A bronze dragon holding a golden ball.
Dragon Ball?
Golden ball, huh?
Dragon holding a golden ball. Is that who I think is? Did that guy just go assemble the Master Balls?
It's kind of frightening seeing all these lanterns lined up. Scary lanterns.
Oh.
Scary lanterns.
You don't have to repeat it.
Alright. A Shinto shrine. The lantern's a Kumakura written on it. A Kumakura crest. Another dragon with a gold ball. Hi, Shinran. Okay, where's the chairman?
What?
Chairman is right in front of you.
What?
I run the Kumakura gang. I'm Moma Kumakura.
That can't be right. The chairman of the Kumakuras is Rohan. You aren't the chairman.
Yo, asshole! You need a lesson in manners?
Date, wait. I did some research and discovered that Rohan Kumakura died last year. He leapt to his death from the roof of a building.
Suicide?
Oh. Well
But
then.
Moma did not take over last year. Moma took over 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Then why do you know who that is, Date? About Shoko.
Don't know nothing about her. I know her face and her name. It was on the news. Nothing else.
Shoko was part of an investment fraud scheme. And I have it on good authority that a certain Yakuza gang was helping her.
Wouldn't know nothing about that, cop.
Sure, alright. About Renju.
I told you, I got nothing to say. You deaf or something?
Date, a minute please.
What is it?
Do you see the sofa in the reception area? There is an ashtray on top of the coffee table.
What about it?
It is peculiar. Thermal imaging reveals that they are both warm.
The sofa and ashtray.
I just guess somebody was
Part of the
sitting there.
cushion is still red.
Just as I thought.
Alright. And one of these is dull. Let's look at her butts. The tip is
Yeah.
reddish.
Can you turn off the thermal vision?
Sure.
I see. The cigarette brand is Klein.
Why is that relevant?
Small details will come in useful later. Trust me.
Alright, I guess. There's a partition in the doorway. Chairman's chair. Chairman's desk.
What does a guy like the chairman need this for? He probably just uses it for porn.
Probably.
Not every man in the world is like you, Date.
Was there someone here recently?
What are you talking about? You're the first guest today. Although you are an uninvited guest.
Don't lie now. Someone was sitting on the sofa and smoking very recently.
How do you know that?
I just do.
Oh, right. I remember now. Just a bit ago, one of our guys was on the sofa.
Are you talking about these guys right here?
Yeah.
Not possible. When I came in,
You made a big mistake coming here. Go home.
Who's this asshole?
neither of them was on the sofa, and neither of them was smoking.
They left.
Who left?
An insurance salesman, right before you came in.
I don't think so. I didn't pass by anyone on my way here, and I happen to know this office only has one entrance and one exit, which means, whoever it is, they're still in this office somewhere. Let me check the back.
Why you want to do that?
I just wanted to say hello to our guest.
I'm telling you, you're the only one here.
Obviously not.
Then you won't mind me checking.
Just get out of here, cop.
There must be someone they don't want us to see. Somewhere behind that wall.
Hello there.
Just as
This must be whoever was sitting on the sofa and smoking earlier.
my revolver can shoot right through this wall. I should shoot him.
Wait! Is he not getting enough?
What?
Never mind. The person behind the wall is unarmed. I cannot approve the use of a revolver in this situation.
Damn it.
Why did Dante want to shoot the man? Bruh. You ain't gotta pull that out. What?
Dante! A porno mag at your feet!
What?
Huh? Oh. Oh god, we have an action sequence. I gotta pay attention.
Hey! Did you just shoot at me?
Bruh. A little bit overkill, don't you think?
Hey, whoa, wait a minute!
He pulled out a minigun. I think that's a little overkill in my opinion. Just saying.
Date, load a revolver with explosive rounds. Aim for the dragon's gold ball on the right.
The what? Oh, that. Why?
Just do it!
I'll get this minigame. There. I figured it out.
Iba, you saved me.
Everything happened as I simulated it.
So, where's this porno mag?
You idiot.
Bruh.
There is no adult magazine. However, I know that your reaction time is up to 3.6 times faster when you are excited.
Come on,
I
Date.
simply took advantage of that behavior.
What the hell? You're a grown man. Aren't you too old to be playing with toys?
Shit!
Hey, coward! I see you. Show your face! I know you.
Alright.
That's...
Sejima, so, Congressman.
What is this guy doing here?
I think he might be a little corrupt. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see, he's down, he's down. I can wait for those. What are you doing here?
I've had a relationship with the Kumakura since back when Rohan was running things. I had business nearby, so I stopped here for a visit. Whatever conspiracy theory you're imagining in your head, you can forget it. This is strictly business.
Strictly business? A congressman meeting with Yakuza? How are you gonna spin that?
It's true. I imagine my public image will be dragged through the mud. But we haven't done anything illegal. If you want to accuse me of such wrongdoing, then by all means. I just happen to think such gossip is better suited for tabloids.
Alright, do you have an alibi between yesterday and the day before?
I went to work, then went home.
So, you have no alibi.
No, I always have my bodyguards near me. If you want to, you can ask them.
Bodyguard testimony can be unreliable.
Obviously.
There is a possibility that they would lie to protect Mr. Sejima.
I agree. You can't trust that.
About Renju.
The president of Lemniscate? We aren't friends, but I did meet him a few times through work.
What work were you doing to meet up with the head of an entertainment company?
It was just some party hosted by some company or other. It's not unusual. Events with those uptight stuffed shirts can be rather dull. So they have some young women from an entertainment office attend. Anyway, we only saw each other a few times. I don't even remember what we spoke about.
Alright. Now you. Do you have an alibi?
Us Kumakuras are a branch of the Ujisaki family. The Ujisaki family runs a yearly golf tournament. Mandatory attendance. We were all at the tournament those days. We only got back this morning. You can ask the hotel. They'll tell you.
Date, I did some research. The hotel's record of guests does list the Kumakura members. They were also seen on several surveillance cameras. It is not possible that any of the Kumakuras could have killed Shoko,
Alright, so they're actually the first people that actually have alibis.
including Moma.
Alright. About Rohan.
I heard that the former head of the Kumakuras committed suicide last year.
Yeah, what's it to you?
Nothing at all. I just want to talk about it.
Rohan was my older brother. He was my big brother in this organization, and my blood brother. 6 years ago, he got sick in the head. He got sent to a special hospital. And naturally, because I'm his brother and next in line, I was the successor. That's all I'm gonna say. You want to know more? Hire a private eye.
Alright, about Shoko.
Well, I guess there's no point hiding it now. I lied earlier, when I said I didn't know her.
I thought so. You and the Kumakuras were a part of the fraud scheme Shoko was organizing.
Yep. Whenever any wise-ass investors gave her trouble, we handled it.
Exactly as I suspected. Shoko was affiliated with the Kumakuras.
About Renju.
I've been looking after that guy since high school. It was the usual stuff. I had him help me with a lot of work. But now, it's kind of the opposite, you know? We're getting work from him. Well, we were. Now that he's dead, though.
What work did he have you do?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
The usual. If talent at his office was causing trouble or something.
You ever get into any disputes with Renju doing this work?
No way, he paid good money. I've never even gotten into an argument with the guy.
Alright. Moma is giving me a glare. Back to you. About Shoko.
The victim prior to Renju? I believe Moma introduced me to her.
Introduced?
We were just having drinks. Shoko stopped by to say hello.
Right. We didn't talk about anything.
You're trying to give me the runaround.
Indeed. Date, I have determined that these individuals have nothing further to add. Even if they are involved, they will not volunteer any more information.
Apparently.
We need solid evidence to move forward with the investigation.
You're right.
Date, a call from Lemniscate.
Connected.
Oh no.
It's me.
Oh no.
You remember, like, how you said to call you if Ota came? Well, he's here now, so I guess I'm calling you.
Got it. I'm on my way.
Where you going?
That's none of your concern. Moma, Congressman Tsujima, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'll come back soon. We'll swap drinking stories.
You serious?
Let's go, Iba.
Roger.
Alright, back to Lemniscate. Please don't let me deal with that receptionist anymore, please. No more. Back in the car.
This is all really suspicious.
What is?
Congressman Tsujima and the Kumakuras. There's definitely something going on there.
I
Obviously.
agree. But I am not sure it is linked to the new Cyclops serial killings. We need to do further investigation.
Why is she sitting on passenger seat now?
Who are you? Impossible. How did a jellyfish get in here? So shiny, too.
You utter idiot. It's me.
Renju?
Do I look like Renju?
I don't know how good that joke is.
Suki?
It's me.
Boss?
Date, seriously.
Kagami?
Then, are you... Mom?
Idiot. They must have increased your dosage too much.
My dosage? Anyway, you're Iba, right? Why are you here? Looking like that?
I just thought I would project myself. You seem lonely.
How are you doing this?
I am overlaying the image your left eye processes with augmented reality. You can't see me through your right eye, only your left.
You can't just pop into my eyeball without permission.
You do realize I do that all the time, right?
I guess, yeah, that's true. About your appearance.
Come to think of it, you look kind of like you do when you're in Somnium. What's that about?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't usually look like that. You have a Somnium form and another form.
Oh, this?
Yes, that. Why are you doing this now?
I was bored last night, so
Huh?
I thought you would like it.
Why would I like it?
Well, I did attempt to shape myself to your preference.
If you could do that, change it.
I will not,
Why not?
because I won't.
Alright, so I'm going to get used to this look.
I fear you would eventually grow tired of the other form as well. I just wanted to change my look a little. Think of it as a haircut.
Pretty drastic haircut.
Yeah. So am I more suspicious?
As I said earlier, I completely agree that they are suspicious, but there is nothing currently linking them to the case.
That's true. We have no established motive.
I mean, you kind of got Kamakura, kind of, but so I guess Tsujima by extension, but nothing solid.
Victims were displayed, tied up on a horse, hung from,
Oh, my bad.
and their left eyes taken out. We still don't know why.
It is possible that Shoko and Renju were disloyal to Congressman Tsujima and the Kumakuras. They could have been killed and displayed as a warning. That would fit the current
True.
evidence.
Maybe. But it doesn't feel right.
How is so related to the Kamakuras?
I looked into that. Unfortunately, I did not find anything in our database that could connect the two.
I see.
However, I did discover some rumors on the internet. Most of them come across as gossip or conspiracy theories. But would you like to hear them regardless?
Please.
Alright, let's do it again.
Mr. Tsujima currently resides in Azabu. He lives in a mansion, a restored samurai castle. But 20 years ago, So Tsujima lived elsewhere, in the Kawasaki district to be exact. He lived there until he was 40 years old. The Tsujima family owned a vast amount of real estate in the district.
Did they own Bloom Park?
Adjusting for inflation, the land was valued above 30 billion yen.
Damn!
The Tsujima family sold off its holdings. 6 months later, the incident occurred.
The explosion at the chemical plant.
This caused Kawasaki to become a restricted area. And of course, land prices fell drastically to less than 1/30th their original value. What are your thoughts?
The timing is certainly suspicious. To sell that amount of land just 6 months before it happened.
There is another interesting fact. After the accident, So Tsujima purchased all of the land back for just 1 billion yen.
Yeah, I thought so.
So he's got 29 billion yen in his pocket and 1 billion yen of land.
Correct. Despite the horrific accident, the Tsujima family is no worse off.
True. But I don't see the point of it. It's not like you got anything out of it.
That would be true, but there is more to this story. There is another important fact. After the land prices in the Kawasaki region crashed...
Oh,
we will have to continue this conversation later. I am receiving a call from headquarters.
Is this Special Agent Date from Abyss? My name is Akaska, from HQ. I'm investigating the Shoko Nadami case. There's something that you need to hear.
What is it?
We got a phone call earlier from a prisoner at Fuchu Prison.
A prisoner?
We saved the call. I think you should give it a listen. Who is this?
In here, I'm known as number 89.
wait a minute. And you listen to his voice.
What is this call concerning?
I know who killed Shoko Nadami. And if you let me out of here, I will tell you who it is.
Is that Kamashiro from Persona 5's voice actor? Anyone, give me a second. Give me a second. No, not Kaneshiro. What's his name? Son of hang on. Kamoshida, that's his name. Is that Kamoshida's voice actor?
I suppose you might say I'm looking for a plea bargain. He will kill again, you know. And he'll take their eye while they're still alive.
Hang on, I'm trying to see if it's actually him. Let's see, Douglas is his voice actor.
There will be more bodies. If you want to stop this serial killer, I suggest you take my offer.
Let's see. Is it him? When's this game come out? I don't know. Oh yeah, he is! Yep. That's Kamoshida. Thought so.
I'll be seeing you.
This has to be a prank.
That's what I thought too. However, we got the call yesterday afternoon, before Renju was killed. In other words...
You're saying he predicted the second crime?
Yeah, I think he did. That's why I thought I should contact you.
Good idea. Thanks, Detective.
Good luck.
Do you think there's anything to this?
I don't know.
That bridge's gotta be the longest bridge in history. And how much we've been driving down it. Well, I guess it's a highway. I don't know if it's a bridge. Alright, let me skate.
Oh, Date.
Yes.
What's wrong? You look like you have a lot on your mind.
Yeah. I just found out online. The corpse at Bloom Park. That was Renju's ex-wife, wasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
So that was Mizuki's mom. Mizuki saw her own mom. And I just left her.
Yeah, shithead.
But I didn't know. I knew her as Shoko Nadami. Her last name is different. I didn't know that was Mizuki's mother. I want to apologize to her. I need to tell her that I'm sorry.
Well, I left her at a bar somewhere in, somewhere. Alright. Not talking to you right now. Where have you been?
Nowhere. Just doing my normal routine.
I don't know your normal routine.
I went to a doujin store to look at the new releases.
Of course you did.
Then I ate some ramen at Jiro's, and then headed over to the PC cafe to browse threads. You know, normal.
If that's normal, I haven't had a normal day in my life.
Alright. About Mizuki.
Mizuki didn't seem like she was angry with you.
What? You met Mizuki? Oh, at the interrogation.
That's right. He doesn't know I live with Mizuki. I have no reason to hide it, but it's sort of hard to explain. Yeah, I spoke to Mizuki at her, questioning earlier.
You're sick, Date.
What?
Questioning? That sounds dirty.
Kinda.
If I were writing a light novel, that's exactly how I would describe a sexy scene.
Don't need to know.
What kind of novels are you writing, kid?
Yeah. About Renju's case.
I don't know anything. I've only seen Renju a couple of times.
I didn't think it was possible to be this bad at lying.
Though it is plainly obvious, I did a thermal check on Ota's body. This is his current body temperature.
That's what I thought. Have you forgotten, Ota? You're my thrall. You don't want me to tell Iris your secret, do you?
Huh?
Well, wait, it's no big deal. I just...
You better start talking.
Okay.
Alright. Now, tell me the
Last
truth.
night, I was walking over to Sunfish Pocket, and I saw Renju come out of the building.
Was he alone?
Oda?
Someone was with him. A man.
Come on. You're a lot more green now.
No. A woman.
He's heating up.
Okay, look. I can tell you're trying to protect her, but you have to help me out here. Was it Iris?
No, it definitely for sure wasn't Tessa.
It was Iris.
Got it. So Renju was with Iris.
Okay, fine. There's no point in hiding it, I guess.
No, there's not.
You're right. Renju came out of the building with Tessa.
But now I need to go speak to
this.
Iris real quick.
She wouldn't murder anyone. She wouldn't hurt a fly. She's an idol. Idols don't kill people.
Well, there's probably been a case or two.
You need to stop putting her on a pedestal.
Tessa is a savior to me. The Tessa I know wouldn't hurt anyone.
A savior?
The first time I met her, I had a bad case of writer's block. And I saw all this awful negativity online, and I lost sight of what I really wanted to write. It was the lowest point of my life.
He is talking like a professional, though he hasn't published anything.
Yeah.
Then, by pure chance, I found a video of Tessa singing and dancing, and it made me realize something important. You don't have to care what people think, you know? If you do your best at what you believe in, your message will get through to people.
I mean, yeah, sure.
That attitude is something
that
all
is kind
great
of true.
creators need to have. After that, I became a huge A-Set fan and got over my writer's block. And I know I'm not the only one Tessa has inspired. A lot of otaku like me say that Tessa is their savior. She cheers them up when they're down.
Straight up admits he's an otaku.
So there's no way Tessa can be involved in murder. Absolutely impossible.
Slow down. I didn't say Iris was the murderer.
But do you suspect her?
I need to hear her side of the story.
She definitely got on the suspect list.
If I do, I might find out she's totally innocent. If you truly believe that she didn't do it, you should tell me everything you know.
But...
do it for Iris.
What time did Renju and Iris leave the building?
Around 6:15, I guess.
That's way too early for the murder.
Where did they go?
I didn't see. They got into Renju's car and drove off.
Were they like 2 hours off? That's a little suspicious.
What did you do?
I went inside Sunfish Pocket, but I saw a sign that said the entire club was reserved. I figured I would just go home.
What happened?
Iris is here.
Dodgy.
Hi?
Iris, there's something I need to ask you. Come with me.
And now we're at the headquarters, Sunday, 8:23 p.m. Alright. So you have a camera. Ooh, interrogation
Iris,
room.
I'm going to ask you some questions.
This is kind of like interesting. Normally it's just like on the couch and I ask questions. I like to be in the interrogation room.
Please answer honestly. However, you do not have to say anything that might incriminate you.
The right to remain silent? You're treating me like a criminal.
Well...
Not exactly. I'm just looking for the truth, and I would appreciate your cooperation.
Alright. Do you have an alibi?
What were you doing from 7 to 9 last night?
I was at home the whole time.
You're sure?
Yes.
Iva, thermograph.
There is no noticeable rise in Iris's body temperature.
She isn't lying.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
You must consider the possibility that she is a natural liar.
I was gonna
With that
say.
kind of confidence, her temperature wouldn't change.
Correct.
Renju's estimated time of death was 8 p.m. last night. If Iris' story is true, she couldn't have done it.
There is another possibility. Even if Iris was at home, she could have killed Renju.
You mean...
Alright. You used to work at Sunfish Pocket, right?
I heard you used to work at Sunfish Pocket.
That's right.
How long?
A little over a year.
Working there that long, you're probably pretty familiar with the equipment.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Alright. Can I ask your mother about your alibi?
I'll ask again. You are sure you were at home around 8 p.m. yesterday?
Yes.
Can I ask your mother about your alibi?
You can, but there'd be no point.
Why is that?
My mom wasn't home.
So you have no alibi.
She came back home early this morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
Where was she?
I don't know.
You don't know. Come to think of it, Iris' mom had connections to Renju too.
Hitomi did mention that yesterday.
But I don't think she'd be able to do it because of her arm.
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now.
Yeah, her arm's basically dead, so you can't
However,
really do anything
we have
with
nothing
it.
to link her to the case.
But I am curious, what was Hitomi doing last night?
Alright, about the surveillance camera.
What about the surveillance camera? Do you know where those tapes were stored?
What are you trying to say?
Iris looks nervous. It's understandable, of course, as they're suddenly be taken to a place like this. Is Oda's story true?
Here's what Ota told me. Yesterday around 6:15 p.m., you and Renju came out of the Sunfish Pocket building. Is that true?
Yes. Mr. Okiura called me and told me he wanted me to come to Sunfish Pocket. ASAP.
Around what time was that?
5 p.m., I think. I got ready, then headed over there. I guess I got there about an hour later.
Date, I checked her call history. At 4:58 p.m., there is a record of a call to Iris from Renju's phone.
Alright, what were you doing with Renju?
What were you doing with Renju?
He asked me about a job.
What kind of job?
He rented out Sunfish Pocket for a party and he wanted me to MC. He said that it was an important party and that a lot of big shots were gonna be there, but the girl he asked to do it originally got sick and couldn't come. But I turned him down.
Why?
Because I'm just an internet idol. I've never done any MCing before, especially with important people being there.
Then that's weird. Why would you ask someone who has no experience to MC? Especially a very important one. When did you find out Renju was killed?
When did you find out Renju was killed?
This morning, on the news.
And you were with Renju last night? You didn't think to call the police and inform them of this?
Oh, sorry. Is that something you're supposed to do?
Obviously.
I had a podcast to record this morning, so if I went to the police, I'd be late. And that would cause everyone a lot of trouble, you know?
That was suspicious. What did you do after you turned him down?
What did you do after you turned him down?
I left with Mr. Okiura at 6:15 p.m. That must have been when Ota saw me.
And after that?
I asked Mr. Okiura to take me home in his car. I got home at 7 p.m. I was home the rest of the night.
What do you think, Aiba?
I cannot detect any contradictions. However, her story appears almost too organized. Human memory is ambiguous. Her use of exact times leads me to be suspicious.
That's true.
I mean, she said about 5 and was 4:58 when the call happened. That's not exact. It's close.
Am I a suspect?
It's not like that.
It's fine, Date. It's true that I met with Mr. Okiura yesterday, but how do I put this? It's impossible that I'm the killer.
How?
I'm a teenage girl.
So?
Mr. Okiura is a fully grown man.
Oh, she's got a point.
He was poisoned, though. He was drugged.
A girl like her could have stabbed, poisoned, or shot him dead, but strangling?
No, it's still possible, you see.
Oh, okay, this is kind of cool. So you have evidence? Okay, it's been a long time since I did this, but he was sedated. Like, ain't that it?
A heavy concentration of sedatives were discovered in Renju's body. Renju was practically in a coma before he died. He wouldn't have struggled.
So, Iris could have strangled him.
Wait a minute. Even if I was somehow able to kill him, the rest of it is impossible.
How
Rest
so?
of it?
Like hanging up his body?
How do you know that?
What do you mean? It's all over the news.
That's true. Renju weighed about 160 pounds. Even if she used her entire body weight, I don't think she could have hauled him up.
Right. It would be hard for her to do it with her strength alone. But with a little ingenuity, it could be done.
Ingenuity?
All the records, watch, oil drum, his weight. Oh, now I don't know. Okay. Let me see here.
Renju's estimated TOD. Numerous hemorrhages.
Alright.
The weapon used to commit the criminal likely wrapped it around Renju's neck and pulled. Renju then. The more precise cause of death is cerebral circulation failure due to vessel closure in the neck. In short, Renju was strangled from behind with some kind of cloth or...
So yeah, it's not that.
The
How about where?
autopsy determined that Renju vacated his bowels for muscle relaxation upon death. However, no trace of this was found on the corpse or at the scene. This means that it is highly likely Renju was killed elsewhere and moved to where he was found.
Alright, I want to look at Discovery.
Renju's corpse was discovered at the maid cafe Sunfish Pocket, hanging from a beam on the ceiling by a wire. He was found over the counter. The wire was attached on both ends. One end was attached to a hook that was embedded inside Renju's jaw. The other end was attached to beer kegs found on the floor. The kegs hold approximately 20 liters of liquid. They weigh approximately 55 pounds each.
I mean, those would be tough for Iris to lift, but could be that. I'm gonna look at the weight. 160.
Sunfish Pocket is located on the second floor. According to the records, from 6:30 p.m. until the body was found, the elevator stopped on the second floor only once. At 8:55 p.m., the total weight detected in the elevator was approximately 310 pounds.
Wait a minute. So 310 pounds is what it is. He weighs 160. Iris said she weighs about like 105. Like if I remember correctly. But the barrels, right? Yeah. How much did it? Were they like 30 pounds each? No, they're 55 pounds each. So let me think. The math doesn't add up. I'm thinking maybe the Discovery? I'm looking at that elevator record. Like, that's what I'm between right now. We'll go with Discovery.
It went like this. First, Renju was laid out on the counter. Next, the wire was thrown over the beam and connected to the hook in his jaw. Then all you need to do is put the 3 beer kegs on the counter.
You think a teenage girl could have done that?
I'm sure it was hard. The kegs weighed 55 pounds each. But that's not impossible, even for a teenage girl.
I guess it isn't impossible.
After that, you get on top of the counter, hook the other end of the wires to the kegs, and then... what do you think happens if you kick the kegs off the counter?
The 3 kegs weighed 165 pounds altogether. Renju weighs 5 pounds less. I guess that would make it possible. But there is one more thing.
What?
Considering the state of the crime scene, it's clear Renju was killed elsewhere and brought to where we found him. If Iris is the culprit, how did she move the body?
Hey!
I know. You're going to say you couldn't have moved a 160-pound body.
Unfortunately for her, she could have.
How?
Elevator, right? Maybe. Yeah, it would have been the elevator and where he was murdered? Alright, transportation method was the elevator. Right? Was it in an oil drum? Okay, I think it might have been oil drum. Alright. What? Now I'm confused. Looks like it is the oil drum. Looks like that's what it is.
You have to prove that that is your current. This will not help you.
Elevator, right? It has to be. Or it's the watch. I started randomly clicking. I was so confused.
Do you know what this is? It's Renju's favorite watch. This was discovered inside an empty oil drum at Sunfish Pocket.
Hey, Date, I know you're on a roll right now, but could you please report things like that according to protocol?
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that it wouldn't be so hard to move a body if it were in a cylinder. You would just have to roll it.
So you're saying Renju's body was moved inside the drum, which is how the watch came off, but the suspect didn't notice it.
I'm not saying anything for sure, just pointing out that it's possible.
I didn't do it! You don't even have any witnesses! If I were rolling an oil drum in the middle of the street, people would have noticed.
You could have put it in a car and driven it.
I don't have a license!
It means nothing.
Doesn't mean you can't drive. Even an AI can drive nowadays.
Are you mocking me?
Don't make sudden outbursts like that.
You insulted me.
Just be quiet.
Who are you talking to?
Everybody knows.
Anyway, Iris, you weigh about 105 pounds, right?
Where is this coming from?
If only you weighed more. Or less.
That is none of your business.
No, I mean that your weight is relevant to the case. If the oil drum was used to transport the corpse, then the possibility of the suspect being around 105 pounds is extremely likely.
Why do you say that?
Now I gotta do 3 of them? Alright, let's try...
You're trying to prove that the suspect... Your thinking is correct, but you need...
Alright, elevator. What would it be then? Oil drum? Wouldn't it be where? No. Discovery? No. Would it be his weight? Yeah.
Iris, on which floor is Sunfish Pocket located?
On the 2nd floor.
That's right. So, I checked the elevator records. Before the corpse was discovered, the elevator only stopped at the 2nd floor once, at 8:55 p.m. And we discovered that the total cargo weight on the elevator was about 310 pounds. Renju weighed 160. The oil drum weighs 44. Together, that's about 205. Subtracting that from 310...
This doesn't look good.
Why are you...
Now, this obviously doesn't prove you're the murderer. A lot of people weigh 105 pounds. Or someone could have put 105 extra pounds in the elevator, sent it up, and taken the stairs to throw us off the trail. However...
Date, stop. Iris is acting strange. Don't turn around.
Why not?
Just stay put. Keep your eyes on the wall. There are several cameras in this room. 2 surveillance cameras installed at the corners of the ceiling, and 1 camera on a tripod. I hacked each to gain access to their recordings. Look at this.
She's fidgeting around. Is she doing something under the desk?
That's what it looks like. But we need to confirm something before we confront her. We need to know that she is in fact doing something under the desk.
It looks like
Without
it.
turning around?
Yes.
How would I do that?
Don't you zoom? They really need to clean this window. She's got a fucking phone.
Ah, shit.
Yep. Why don't you confiscate that before the interrogation? God damn it, Oda.
Iris, what are you thinking? What is that thing?
And now she's pleading the fifth.
Hey, answer me, Iris.
She's definitely hiding something, Date. Sync with her.
Yep, I figured. Alright.
Iris is experiencing REM sleep. Medication is working perfectly.
How about it, Date? Think you can do it?
Not a problem. Get it started.
The time limit is 6 minutes.
We know.
So before time is up...
I know.
Then, let's begin.
Alright. What is this, a warehouse?
What is this place?
My dog behind me just sleeping her ass off.
How is this related to Iris?
Unknown, but there must be a connection.
Iris,
Yeah?
what are you hiding?
Somnium scan! Activate!
Alright. Mental lock 1. 2. 3. 4. Alright. Discover Iris' secret, a mysterious room, videos, and a strange device. You may be able to find the truth. Let's see, a CCTV in the middle of nowhere? Do you want to play the game? Alright.
A CRT TV.
Hit or spin dial, and it doubles either way. Hit.
Fixing it by hitting it is an old-fashioned approach.
It works.
Well, this is an old-fashioned object, so...
The fuck? Oh.
What was that just now?
A child's drawing of a rat.
Iris must have drawn it.
It is not yet possible to determine that. Let's continue the investigation. There
What is
much to go on.
happening? Alright, so I just chose a path. Because hitting and spinning it would do to cause me to go down one path. Pick the timing. One force to use them. If you pick one up, be careful. Alright. What else do I gotta go to? Mirror, gun. I was looking around. Medicine shelf. Okay, medicine shelf.
I see many objects in the room.
It's gonna force me to use it. Alright. Let's see, I can investigate smell.
There is a sweet smell, like syrup or almonds.
Well, it's either a sweetener or...
Possibly nitroglycerin.
Be careful.
Because nitroglycerin explodes even from slight impacts, it is usually mixed with acetone to lower the sensitivity.
Acetone, huh?
I did not expect Iris to be aware of how to handle such dangerous chemicals.
That tells me something bad
A
stuff.
shelf. Various things have been placed on it.
I investigate the bottle. Oh, damn!
What? The explosions appear to have stopped.
The explosions made the room change.
This is a dangerous dream, but we must continue.
Iris, what the hell's going on in your head? Blew up a frog. See, we have a reference book. I want to look at.
It appears to be a butterfly reference book with pictures.
Read.
This is a reference book of butterflies and moths.
Is it Iris's?
Unknown. There is no name written on it.
Alright. Mirror, gun, doors, operating table.
An operating table.
I'm not going to hit. Perform surgery, sleep. No, hey, no. I want to do a timey. Perform surgery.
Surgery? For whom?
Just act it out.
Act it out? This is not a children's playtime.
It might help reproduce a memory.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on a medical dragon team.
The hell's that? A butterfly ripped in half.
Something has spawned.
This is like serial killer vibes, not gonna lie. See, locker. Was this one of the things I unlocked? Whoa!
That was close. If this were the Delta Princess, I would have been stabbed.
What is that?
Is it booby-trapped?
I do not see anything else inside. Would you like me to examine the knife?
Good idea.
Okay, knife.
The knife that flew out of the locker.
Seppuku. I am tempted, I'm not going to lie. Just to see. Quick save real quick. Just in case I need it. Save's coming just a little bit. Alright.
The knife that flew out of the locker.
Commit seppuku.
Do you wish for me to die?
No, I do not.
But why must I commit seppuku?
In this foreign land, I believed it to be the only course of action.
What the fuck is happening?
I refuse.
Do you wish to speak a haiku in your final breath?
Your samurai impression is ridiculous and inaccurate. Stop that! Is this Somnium starting to get to you, Date?
I'm my usual self.
That's the problem. But in any case, I will not do it.
Oh.
The knife that
I want to see
flew
what
out of the
happened.
locker.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
Alright, throw.
Like this?
You just killed a bird?
I only threw it lightly.
Great, you killed a bird. Good job, Iba.
An oil drum, television, and torso.
What is happening?
I'm starting to see the picture.
I do not yet understand it.
How much Iba? Alright. So, torso. Wouldn't an oil drum be more like... Hang on.
An oil drum.
Take the lid off, look inside, kick. 60 seconds? Let's make that into 10. It's censored. Alright.
What does this mean? Bullets?
6 bullets.
They might be used for something. Let's keep them.
Let me when did that go to the gun?
An old television built in the era.
No. I ain't trying to waste time. I think it's the gun.
A revolver.
Is it real?
It appears that way.
Shoot and move or look down the band. Look down the band.
It's dark.
Why not bring your face closer?
Just then look down the barrel of a gun.
No, I cannot see anything. Oh, did you say something?
Damn it.
I didn't think you'd fall for that.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry too.
Alright then.
A revolver.
Shoot.
Can we use the bullets we found earlier?
This could work. I'll try shooting it.
Right into the TV. You don't shoot the cat? Don't. Don't. I'm starting to be convinced Iris is a sociopath with all this animal killing. Right to the head. Ooh. Iris, what the hell's going on with your head? Like, this is a war movie now. What? Oh. Oh. Hold up. I am disturbed. I am now very disturbed. Huh. That was very disturbing.
What happened during that Somnium?
We saw the whole thing on the monitor.
But we're just as confused as you are.
Well, upon further reflection, it is not so strange. Dreams are developed outside of our conscious will. When you sink into Somnium, there is no guarantee of what you will discover.
What about the figure?
Could have been Iris herself.
But why is it old man with giant boobs? Like, what?
That is a possibility. The sinker sees the subject's dream from the third person.
That means that Iris, she must have met So Tsujima somewhere.
We did see Congressman
Apparently.
Tsujima in there.
We saw that shadow kiss him too.
Did that happen in reality?
Not necessarily. I'm sure you've had dreams of kissing celebrities and porn stars, right?
Plead the fifth, Dante.
The first part, yes, but the second part, no.
You sure about that? Anyway, you know what I mean.
A dream is not made up entirely of
It's still very
memories.
disturbing.
It can include things outside of your memory, like TV or movies.
Even if the figure was supposed to be Iris, her smooch in Somnium does not necessarily reflect her actions in reality.
You can't use the word smooch.
Why not?
So we don't know if Iris and So are acquainted.
That's right, because So is a celebrity of sorts. It's possible she just saw him on TV or online.
Well, this is a mindfuck. We were silent for a time. While I was deep in my thoughts, I heard Peter
Dante,
speak.
Iris is about to wake up.
Got it.
Gave my short reply and headed to the sink room next door.
Putting me to sleep when I wasn't expecting it? You cops are more rough than I thought.
You signed a consent form before you came in here, didn't you?
You forced me to sign it.
Anyway, Iris, I have some things I want to ask you.
What?
Alright. Do you know how are you feeling? Let's start easy.
I'm okay. Normal, I guess. Why? Did you do something that would make me sick?
I just took a peek inside your head is all.
Inside my head?
Do you know a politician named So Shijima?
Yeah, I know his name and face. I've never met him.
You haven't?
I'm just an internet idol. It's not like I have connections to politicians or anything.
Well... Alright. Do you remember your dream earlier?
Dream? What are you talking about?
The subject of the sink does not experience Somnium as you do.
Just want to see
Iris
if she
would not
knew
know about
something.
it.
If she had a dream or anything. About the Nile message with Oda.
Iris, let me ask one thing. The message Ota sent you on Nile.
About that thing. And they torture me.
I won't
Don't
tell
worry.
anyone about that thing. What is that thing?
I don't know. Ota's the one who wrote that. You should ask him.
Iba, Ota's phone is still broken, right? But he definitely sent that Nile message.
Ota purchased a new phone in Akihabara yesterday.
Of course.
The same number?
Yes.
Call it.
Connected.
Hey, it's Kaname Date. Where are you? Ota, I know you can hear me.
At home. I'm at home.
Got it. Wait right there. I'm coming over.
Is Tessa still at the police station?
Yes?
If you want me to talk, release her.
This ain't a hostage negotiation.
Criminal Procedure Law Number 198. Persons may refuse to heed a summons or leave the supervision of the police at any time unless they are arrested or detained.
Then officially detain. Don't you have 70 some hours to, interview somebody? Detain her then.
Tessa isn't a suspect.
Well...
According to Article 223, this applies to all persons of interest. You haven't issued an arrest warrant for Tessa, right? So if you don't release her right now, you are violating the law.
Damn.
Do we have a deal? You want my testimony, right? Bring Tessa here, and I promise I'll tell you everything I know.
This kid is starting to get on my nerves.
So, what are you going to do?
Detain her.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure after that dream she needs to be a suspect, because there's some creepy shit.
Iris, come with me. We're going to Matsushita Diner.
Were you talking to Ota?
Yeah, telepathically. I have special powers. Anyway, let's go.
Well then. This just gave me a big old mindfuck.
Tessa!
Thank you, Ota. It's thanks to you.
That's right. It's not like you can do whatever you want just because you're the police.
Yes, we can.
Maybe not. But you better keep your promise.
Technically, he's not the police. He's the IBIS? Or what's the group called? ABIS? Something like that? So you want to go down that route? I guess you bought a new cell phone.
Yeah, I did. Yesterday in Akihabara.
Where's your mother?
She's in the living room in the back. I think she's watching TV or something.
Okay.
Did you come all the way here just to ask me that?
About that Nile message.
Didn't I tell you? Ask Ota about it.
Oh, I had tried to at least get some info out of you. You even met his mother?
Don't you have things to ask Ota?
Well,
Hurry
fuck
up.
you too. Did I keep you waiting?
I was nervous thinking about Tessa. I couldn't stop imagining what dirty, perverted dojin plots you were acting out with her.
Kid, touch grass, please.
As long as I am in your eye socket, that won't happen.
Wouldn't happen anyway.
About that thing in the Nile message.
So let's hear it. What is that thing?
That thing?
Don't play dumb. You sent that message to Iris.
Oh, Date, will you do me a favor?
Why?
There's a picture on the counter, right?
Yeah, and?
I want you to take a good look at it.
The photo.
Yes, the photo.
Don't do it, Date. That's why you don't do it. You little shit. Iba, call 911. Day 4, you die. That little shit hit me with a frying pan.
My head is pounding. What time is it?
The day has turned over. It is Monday, 2:50 a.m.
What's up, Roger? Yeah. I would have just knocked the shit out of me.
He's been unconscious for nearly 5 hours.
Ota got me, didn't he?
He did. He struck you over the head with the walk.
Little bastard. Why did he do that?
I don't know. But afterward, he ran off with Iris.
Of course he
How do you
did.
know?
You had lost consciousness, but I was still watching. I recorded video of the incident. Take a look.
Tessa, wait! I'll get the car.
You witch! You stay away from my boy!
What's happening?
Tessa!
You ever heard of real?
What's wrong? Did something happen?
What? I don't know what that. I don't know where you're trying to go with that.
Okay, let's go.
What just happened?
Ota.
What? What? Now Mayumi's doing something? What is happening? Like what?
Why didn't you chase them?
I'm sorry.
You should have jumped out of my eye and ran after them.
I couldn't move. The mechanics controlling my ambulatory motion were short-circuited by the blow to your head. Date, the boss is calling.
How am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency. Just now, the killer... Well, just watch the video. I sent the address to Iba.
So that way you can see play-by-plays of it. Oh. Hashtag not sponsored. Yes, of course.
Iris.
I'm gonna check that out. Oh shit! Oh shit! This is some Saul shit.
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
What?
Iva, the source.
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse, Koto District.
Okiura?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site, now.
Alright! Did Oda take her eye out? Is that what happened? I kept my foot on the gas the whole time. I could feel the sweat on my palms. The engine raises high-pitched scream. I have a link that gives me points to my... Oh. Alright, I'll check that out later, man. I could barely hear it. My heartbeat was pounding and my ear was shaking me to the core. How much time has passed? The feeling the time itself had disappeared. Eventually the car reached a long bridge. Shortly after, the image changed. Oh shit! That all better not turn on.
That sick bastard!
Why is he in a polar bear suit? No. No. What is happening?
Tessa! Hold on!
Oh, there's Oda.
I'll save you!
Ota!
But wait a minute. Y'all left together. How did the polar... Oh.
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
I am now very
Date,
confused.
We've almost reached the destination.
Yeah, this took a turn, alright. This took a whole turn. No, Iris has one last eye. Polar bear murderer. I don't know. 3:17 a.m. Nice turn, Date. Oh shit!
You okay?
Date.
Where did they go?
Through the back door.
Just hang on, Ota.
Can we get
Help is
Iris
on the
down
way.
from that table, though? I don't feel safe with her near there.
Don't worry. Iris is alive. Backup is en route to this location. Date, pursue the culprit.
What the hell happened?
Alright, I'm on it.
What happened between me getting knocked out and the wind up her on that table? Like, what happened? This whole stream's been this weird today. Police HQ, 9:34 a.m. Guess we didn't find the killer.
Any traces of the culprit?
Still nothing. We also didn't catch the culprit on any of the surveillance cameras. They probably got away through the back alley.
While wearing a polar bear costume.
Maybe they took it off and threw it in the ocean.
The polar bear
If it
murderer.
were filled with something heavy, it would sink to the bottom.
Yeah, how's Iris and Oda?
They were taken to Central Hospital. Ota's surgery went well. He's in treatment now. He's stable, nothing life-threatening. Iris, though.
Is she still in surgery?
Yeah.
Iris's left eye was forcibly removed.
I didn't expect you to get smashed in the head and her eye was out and Oda got shanked. Yeah, a lot happens in like the 3 minutes you join the stream.
Because the optic nerve is connected to the brain, the surgery will take some time to complete.
Alright. Have you contacted Hitomi and Mayumi?
Of course. Hitomi's at the hospital, waiting for the surgery to finish.
And Mayumi?
She was at the hospital earlier, waiting for Ota to get out. I think she went back home to get some clothes and things for Ota's hospital stay.
Date, last night, Mayumi left the diner to chase after Iris and Ota. Perhaps she knows something.
Yeah, she might. Let's listen to Mayumi's story.
Yeah. Okay. Has CSI found anything?
It's still ongoing, but they haven't found anything of note yet. Date, Aiba, go to the warehouse again and investigate. You two might be able to find some useful clues.
Alright. About Ukiura Fishery.
You should ask Aiba about that.
Yes, I have already done some research. Okiura Fishery is owned by the Okiura we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
Alright, time for me to be detective mode here. What's tricking me up is the other two victims were killed, not streamed, not public, and in a very public place they placed them after they were dead. Why would he stream Iris's attempted murder and do that in such a dramatic fashion? Like with the saw. The woman, I forgot her name, was stabbed. Shoko, that's her name. She was stabbed. Renju was strangled. Those are basic murders. Why the saw? That seems like a very dramatic show. Like, it doesn't fit. You know what I mean?
So it's a coincidence the criminal chose that location?
Unknown.
Like, it's murders 1 and 2 is very different than attempted murder 3. It makes me a little weird. About So.
So, Sejima? He was an Iris.
Why is he a woman with giant tits? What is happening?
Right. But Iris says she's never met him.
Why not ask
What has
So
been his
about it?
past 30 minutes? Past 30 minutes of the stream has just been batshit.
So lives in Azabu, right? I guess I could.
We have a representative of Ukiura Fishery.
They're giving statements at HQ right now. The line is pretty long.
You could just talk to Mizuki.
Right. She's part of the Okiura family, too. Oh, speaking of. Hey, boss. Did you end up sending anyone to take care of Mizuki yesterday?
Jeez, you're finally getting around to asking that?
Yeah, good
Yes,
point.
she's fine. I had one of our new recruits take her. She took her back to your house, so Mizuki should still be there.
So Mizuki's at home.
And I'm fairly certain she's furious with you.
Oh, yeah.
After leaving her alone with Mama, I mean.
I shouldn't go investigate.
All right, boss. I'm going to investigate all this.
Got it. We're counting on you.
Let's go, Iva.
Roger that.
Oh, we have a lot of places to go. Alright, let's do an order. Let's go to the warehouse. Alright. Oh. Monday.
Two cars.
These cars have been parked here since before 3:17 a.m.
One van and one station wagon.
But wait a minute. Wouldn't one of those be Mayumi's? Because Oda and Iris were together, right? And what the hell is this? This ain't a van. No.
Who owns
No.
the van?
The Matsushita family. It appears as though it was used for transporting ingredients and supplies.
Tessa, wait! I'll get the car.
But that cost to be the station wagon.
Ota's fingerprints were found on the steering wheel
Oh,
and gear shift.
never mind.
Iris's fingerprints were found around the passenger seat. Those were the only prints recently made.
Alright, so Iris and Oda took that. So who took the station wagon?
This station wagon is a stolen car.
Oh.
Stolen?
Last night, the owner of the vehicle reported it stolen. It was stolen at 10:33 p.m. yesterday. The theft occurred in Fuchu, Tokyo, in the parking lot of Famisto, a convenience store along Koshu Highway.
The Famisto parking lot, huh?
The car was stolen while the owner was shopping inside the store. The vehicle's engine was on.
Why would you leave the engine on? He was asking to get robbed.
The doors might have even been unlocked, which would have made the theft easy for the culprit.
They ain't even theft anymore. That's just natural selection at work.
Who took the car?
Ota Matsushita.
Oh. Wait a minute, but he took the van.
What?
Ota got into the car and drove off. The security cameras at the convenience store caught the entire incident.
Well, he's going to jail for GTA.
Ota's fingerprints were also found on the steering wheel of that car. There is no
So
doubt
Ota
that it was
drove
Ota.
both cars. That's suspicious.
The stream of the polar bear started around 3 a.m.
Correct. About 10 minutes later, Ota appeared on screen.
Ota stole the car at 10:33 p.m. That makes 4.5 hours until he appeared on screen.
Alright, Ota's not exactly clear of anything. I'll say that much. Police officer. I asked him about the investigation, but there's been no progress. The Cultural Trade House became the scene of a horrible crime this morning. Oakwood Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Can I go inside? The station wagon Ota stole.
Was there anything else found inside the car?
There was one thing.
What was it?
Ota's cell phone. The one he purchased 2 days ago in Akihabara. It slid under the driver's seat.
Where's the phone now?
Its data is being inspected and evaluated. I cannot find anything in the vicinity that could be a clue.
Me either. Let's check inside the warehouse.
It's very weird to me.
Wow, it's cold in here.
The air conditioners have stopped. However, the insulation in the walls has kept the room temperature close to what it was this morning.
I should finish this investigation before I freeze to death.
Well then, you had better get started.
Alright. Is that our favorite inspector? What's your name?
Good one, Date.
I think I broke him.
Have I asked you before?
Yeah.
Wait, give me a second. It's coming back to me. It has something to do with glass?
Where are you getting this from? I have a pretty unique name.
Do you really? But what's your name? Tell me.
Do you remember now?
Yeah, I think I've got it. It was 3 syllables. Something like, 6 letters long.
You remember all that, but not my name?
Tell me what's your name, man.
You still don't know.
No, not yet, but I've almost got it.
I feel like if I ask him again, we'll wind up being the third murder in this
3
area.
syllables, 6 letters. Kodaka, right?
Not even close.
I mean, but what's your name? Tell me, man.
Do you want me to just tell you?
Yes.
No, give me a hint.
It starts with Ka.
Starts with Ka, 3 syllables, 6 letters.
You're making this sound like a riddle.
Kasami.
Is it Kanaiza?
Yeah, sure, man. That's my name.
Alright, what's up, Kanaiza? Tell me, what's your real name, though? His name is Kanaiza. Probably born between June and July 22nd. Alright, he's officially Kanaiza now. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
What's your name? That's my friend Kanaiza. He's officially Kanaiza now. We see a lot of each other, don't we?
Yeah, wish it were under better circumstances. Too bad you're not a girl. This could be the start of something.
Nope. Just nope. Yesterday before the Bucks Clippers game, I was saying Drew Holiday was one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He shot 27 points and 13 assists on 69% shooting. Nice. Nice stat. But Drew Holiday, I don't think he's that much underrated. I mean, but he does ball out at times. I don't think he's like truly like a craziness. I did win my bet yesterday though in NBA, which I'm happy about. I do have a bet with the Bulls today. I had the Phoenix Suns and Chicago bet going on today. I got DeRozan, Vicevic, Bridges, Green, and Somnium. I think that's a good lineup.
Huh. Yeah, thinking the same thing.
What about your family, man?
No, unfortunately, I live alone.
Oh.
With a job like this, I don't really get the chance to meet new people.
Once this case is wrapped up, how about you and I go to a cabaret club together?
Hey, now you're talking.
All right.
Lying, right?
Sure, I'll expense it.
I recorded that conversation. I will be sending it to the boss later.
On second thought, why don't we split it?
Aw, lame.
The inspector is doing his duties as usual. Obviously, bloodstain. That must be Oda's blood. That's where he stabbed it and went down. Are you sure it's his blood? Can we test it? Just saying, gotta cover all bases. Evidence marker. It's a little marker to put track evidence at the scene. Yeah. Any progress?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Aren't you cold?
Yeah, some engineer from NRIPS created a jacket lined with heating wires. That keeps me warm. Nice, right? All the cops and inspectors around here are wearing them.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright. What the hell? Square object.
There's something there.
You should go pick it up.
Huh. I recognize this.
An Odoroki Man chocolate. You've been collecting them for 3 years. Each chocolate contains a special sticker inside. Years ago, you started buying them for Mizuki. But eventually, you got hooked on them. Even after Mizuki lost interest, you kept buying them.
That's a bittersweet memory. The Odoroki Man chocolate. Why is this here?
Perhaps we can use it as a clue. Let's investigate further.
Alright. Oil drum.
It really does look like Reika from that cabaret club in Nakamaguro.
What part of it looks like a metal tube?
Police officer.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream. All of these
Fucking
items
polar bear.
have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores.
Funny how Jimmy
It would be difficult to
G
determine
has
the
more
suspect
rings than
from
Drew
them.
Brees. Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers. Oh yeah, he was Patriots' backup. I forgot about that. So he technically got rings. I completely forgot. I don't know how Aaron Rodgers has not had more rings. His defense has failed him way too much. Same thing with Drew Brees. Like the Minnesota Miracle, like that was some bullshit. And then Rams with that penalty. That's just recent too.
Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it.
Video camera and laptop. Probably can't find the culprit of these. Alright,
The
forklift.
tires of the forklift are clearly frozen to the ground.
It hasn't been moved in a long time. What are you thinking?
Nothing. It just seemed noteworthy.
I don't feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, he's not a good person. Why do you say that, man? Is that just you being a Bears fan, or you honestly don't like him?
That machine is used to cut ice. We have gathered testimony from the workers regarding it. This has always been in the warehouse, so the suspect did not bring it here.
Any fingerprints?
Nothing. No fingerprints have been found at the scene at all.
Of course.
This entire warehouse is clean.
I see. Oh, it's freezing.
Date, we're at our limit. We've examined everything of interest here. Let's go elsewhere.
I agree.
Alright. Going to the diner then. Hopefully, Mayumi's here and we can ask her some questions.
Hang on a sec, everybody.
Who might you be?
Alright, I'm back. Sorry, my dog was barking at something or another. Anyway. Who might you be?
It's me, Kaname Date. We met yesterday. I gave you my card.
Oh. So
Sure, if the guy that exists lied about his vax status and his strength of family. He never lied about his vax status. He said he was immunized. That doesn't mean he got vaccinated. Immunized is a whole different thing. The NFL and the team took it as he was vaccinated and treated him like he was such. Immunized can mean any treatment he believes can help him. That's what immunized mean. And he's an all-natural person who doesn't take that vax stuff. So he probably did something. But about last night.
Last night? What time?
Before 10 p.m.
Oh, I was already asleep by 10.
And he was immunized? Well, that's what he said, and he was treated that way. And typically, that's why inoculation, and there's a whole thing. And sure, he never technically lied. He got away with something, I'll say that much. He didn't lie, but he got away with it. I was already asleep at 10.
Sleeping? That can't be.
Yeah, it's not possible. You're lying, Mayumi. All it takes is a couple words, and he got away with it.
Left the diner to chase after Ota and Iris.
He got away with stuff on technicalities.
I saw the whole thing with my own left eye.
Left eye? Not both your eyes?
Well...
Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't go anywhere last night. I was asleep. I was dreaming.
Dreaming?
Yes. A very nostalgic dream. It was when my son had just started elementary school. I had Ota run an errand for me. And he was taking so long, and I was waiting. My husband said it was nothing to worry about, but I couldn't take it anymore and went to look for him. I found him at a traffic signal, crying. He said he couldn't come home because the signal was still red. But it was one of those crossing signals you have to push. That boy didn't even notice it. He just stood in front of that red light. So stubborn. So stupidly honest. Ah, that's my Ota. He was so cute. I couldn't help it. Oh, this? This is a family photo from when Ota was still small. I wanted to look at it again. I'm a horrible mother. I've always caused trouble for my husband and Ota. They've helped me so many times. I am such a burden. They were always smiling. They were so kind. I remember a gift they gave me one Mother's Day. They knew how much I liked floral patterns. So they gave me this apron and a kitchen knife. Oh, I was so happy. I was crying and smiling, and that's what this photo is from. It's kind of embarrassing, but isn't it such a nice photo?
Yes, that's very nice, Mayumi.
Oh, who knows?
Date, I did some research on her husband, Ota's father. His name is Matsushita Takaro.
Oh, sorry I was silent. My dog was doing something. I apologize. I actually was talking. I didn't realize I was still muted. Happens. Anyway, I apologize. But what is his father?
He died of myocardial infarction 5 years ago.
Oh. What's that? Google heart attack. Okay.
What? What is going on here?
Kids these days. What you mean, man? Just to be sure asking me about Ododoki Man chocolate I found at the warehouse. I took it out in the pocket to show her.
Do you know anything about this chocolate?
Oh, you like Odoroki Man?
Yes, actually. I was hooked on them at one point.
My Ota loves them too. When he was younger, he used to collect all the stickers. He was the best at it.
Are you done packing?
Packing? What are you talking about?
I thought you came here to pack some of Ota's things for his hospital stay.
Ota? At the hospital?
Oh,
My boy's fine.
No, he's not. He took a knife.
You shouldn't say things like that to a mother.
Date, I noticed something.
I did too.
Can you
Bread.
look at Mayumi with
What?
the thermal imaging turned on?
Oh, she was very green.
Do you see it?
Part of her brain is blue.
Oh, I need to look at the brain.
That might be due to low blood flow in that part of the brain.
Which means...
Mayumi has an illness. I have checked her hospital records. For the past 6 years, Mayumi has been suffering from dementia.
Dementia?
Yeah, I kind of assumed.
Symptoms vary considerably, but Mayumi appears to be afflicted by memory loss. She seems to be missing memories.
I see. So that's where those weird comments were coming from. Can she run a diner like that?
It isn't running.
What do you mean?
Matsushita Diner has been closed for 8 years. Matsushita Diner is near the Kabasaki district. It is not technically within the restricted area. However, after the chemical plant explosion, the number of potential customers must have dropped considerably. Before the accident, this diner managed quite well due to its proximity to Bloom Park. Patrons from Bloom Park would often eat here, being the cheaper option. But Bloom Park closed 8 years ago. The customers stopped coming. And then, naturally...
It folded.
Does Mayumi not notice that the store is closed?
I do not think so.
That's kind of sad.
Because of the dementia?
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Well, is that all? I have to start preparing for the dinner shift.
There ain't gonna be a shift, Mayumi.
Date, let's go. It's better that you leave things be.
Yeah. I don't go to the hospital. Alright. Sorry I was quiet. I don't know why my thing muted That was weird. I know I was muted, but I thought I undid it. I guess I didn't. Eh.
Are you okay?
Date.
The nurse told me you were here.
Yes, just resting. Iris's surgery was successful. They told me she would be fine. After I heard that, a weight left my shoulders, and I just collapsed.
It seems that she passed out and was brought here.
Yeah, the nurse told me.
But I'm fine now. I feel much better.
Alright. About Iris.
She...
Because it was bought by a meatpacking company, right? That's how the Packers got their name?
Iris lost her left eye.
Yeah.
They haven't found it yet. If the optic nerve and blood vessels are intact, they told me they might be able to restore it. But I'm thankful she's alive. When I was young...
They're gonna reattach her eye?
I lost someone...
If they can find it at least?
Monica Ui, my best friend. One of the only friends I had. While I was waiting for news from Iris's surgery, I started thinking about Monica. And I felt like I was going to lose my mind.
Dante's just being real quiet.
That must have been very painful.
Yes.
About Oda. Oh, I hit the wrong one. About your alibi.
What were you doing around 3 a.m. today? I don't mean anything by it. I'm just doing my job.
I was sleeping at home. The police came and picked me up around 4 a.m. That's when I heard about all this.
Her testimony matches what was in the investigation material.
The cops came to pick her up around 4?
Correct.
How long does it take to get from Hitomi's house to the warehouse?
20 to 25 minutes by car.
And the polar bear ran out of the warehouse at around 3:15?
Correct.
If you're fast, you can just make it.
Do you suspect Hitomi?
Not necessarily, but...
About Oda.
I am so thankful for Oda.
1919, Curly Lambeau worked in an Indian meatpacking company, and he would convince the owner of the company to pay for jerseys on some used athletic field. I didn't know that, although I just knew they were a meatpacking company. Because of an NFL video I watched.
No. Words don't even do it justice. Oda saved Iris, didn't he? I heard the police talking about it. If Oda didn't go to the warehouse that night, Iris would be dead. I really don't even know what to say.
Why is Oda becoming more and more suspicious?
It's frustrating that there isn't a bigger word for thank you.
Do you know about Iris and So?
So Sejima? The politician?
Yes. We believe they might know each other.
I don't think so.
Right, about Oda.
Oda was actually one of my students. I was his teacher in elementary school. Even back then, he had such a strong sense of justice. Not that I'm one to say, but I believe he grew up to be quite an amazing young man.
He grew up?
He risked his own life to save someone else. His mother must have raised him well.
Oda's becoming more and more suspicious, man. Why is Iris never wear pants? Yeah, I don't know. It's her style.
Sorry for asking you so many questions at a time like this.
No, it's fine.
I should go.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, that's it? Alright, let's go talk to Mizaki. But now Iris is in the hospital, so... I'm surprised you couldn't speak to Oda. Like, I'm surprised at that.
Hey, Mizuki. Could you take a
break? She is lifting 25 kilogram weights? Like, what?
I want to ask you something.
Sorts of show I thought she was playing NBA in 1968. How much weight is that in pounds? She's lifting over 200 pounds. She's benching 200 pounds. 2 weights on each side, 25 kilograms is about apparently 55 pounds each. So she's benching about 220 right now at 12. You're mad at me, aren't you? Where's the officer who dropped you off? She's not doing full reps. I mean, that's impressive. Great conversation. About Uda and Iris? About the fishery. Apologize.
Listen, I get it. I'm really sorry, Mizuki. Yesterday, I went to meet up with the Yakuza gang. The Kumakuras. Remember Mama said Renju had some connection with them? So I went to question them. But of course, I couldn't take a little girl with me. You understand, right?
You better get kicked in the balls, my man.
I'm not afraid of any Yakuzas. I'd make their hearts stop beating in 3 seconds.
She speaks!
Girls shouldn't talk like that.
That's awfully sexist of you. This is why no one thinks you're attractive.
Well, damn.
I'm attractive?
Uh-huh, keep telling yourself that.
I mean, the receptionist seems pretty taken with Date.
That's why you haven't had a girlfriend in 4 years.
Oh!
My girlfriend is a ninja. No, she's just hiding in the shadows.
Sure. So what do you want to ask me anyway?
Well, after you just ended poor Date's life right there, bench press. The weights are real iron. They weigh about 220. Thought so. Not that I can actually bench that. Alright, where's the officer who dropped you off?
Where's the officer who dropped you off?
I told her to go home. I said I would call her to check in.
Okay.
Why are you disappointed? Did you want to meet her?
It's not like that.
You wanted to see her boobs?
I'm gonna get some running in. Alright, man. See you, Roger.
I thought you were more into small boobs, pervert.
Oh.
I like big boobs, too.
I suppose you are what they call a tit man.
This is not a conversation you should have with a 12-year-old, just saying. About Uda and Iris.
I saw the video. The one at 3 a.m. last night. Ota is amazing. I'm changing my mind about that guy.
Don't.
Iris
I don't
and
trust
Ota
it.
came out of it okay. They'll both live.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank God.
About the fishery.
Okiura Fishery is a company Grandpa made. I don't think Daddy had anything to do with it, though. Grandpa died 17 years ago. Someone else is running that company now. They aren't family.
What kind of person was your grandpa?
I never met him. He died before I was born. But Daddy did tell me stories.
What kind of stories?
Back when Grandpa was in Great-Grandma's tummy, she was on a passenger ship that got shipwrecked in a storm. She had to have the baby out on the ocean.
On the ocean?
Yup. And then, Grandpa was raised by dolphins.
By
the time he was 10, he was catching fish with his bare hands. And then, Grandpa got up on land and learned language and culture and stuff. And then he decided to start up Okiura Fishery.
Sounds like Grandpa needs an anime.
Sounds like a tall tale.
Yeah, Grandpa was a legend. All the fishermen and sailors respected him.
That can't be true. But it's part of me thinking, maybe? Thought Mizuki is salty and superhuman. I believe her grandpa was incredibly man. I mean, she is, benching 220. What the heck? I looked around. What the heck is this? It's a door rabbit. A stuffed rabbit. It's a character Mizuki likes. Guess there's no point in getting into it. Speakers themselves are actually mostly hollow.
4 years ago, Mizuki used to hide in them to scare you, didn't she?
Yeah. And I would scold her every time.
She hasn't done such childish things lately.
Good news for me.
You think so? I imagine that a part of you actually misses it.
Wait a minute. I only see one bed. Why do you have a lead pipe? Iron pipe, I mean. Mizuki's favorite metal pipe. I have no idea what she uses this for. Why did y'all really have multiple pairs of the same clothes? We see clothes that might hang on the rack. We each have basically one outfit. That's because we're rational people. I don't want to waste my precious time and brain power thinking about what clothes to wear every day. A lot of successful businessmen and scientists do it. Okay, honestly, Mizuki and I do have other outfits, but we just keep them somewhere else. A bed. Mizuki sleeps there every night. So I guess you sleep on the couch? Yeah. 3-seat sofa. I've been sleeping there for 4 years. Mizuki took over my bed. A desk. A corkboard on the wall. Say goodbye.
Thanks for talking with me, Mizuki. It was helpful.
Was it?
I have to continue the investigation, so...
Wait, you're leaving me again?
Yes.
I'm coming with you.
No.
Why?
I can't involve you. This might be dangerous.
It's okay, I'm strong. You know how strong I am, right? You were the one who knew how special I was before anyone.
Oh, it was 1 year ago. I noticed something strange when Mitsuki came home from school.
Hey, what happened? Who did this to you?
She got fucked up.
Some kids at school, 5 or 6 of them, they said I was a weirdo because I don't live with my mom and daddy. And they teased me, and I got mad, and I told them to go away and they hit me.
Tell me their names. I'll teach the little punks a lesson.
Date, wait. Adult intervention will not solve this problem. Mizuki has to deal with this problem herself.
Mizuki, come on. It's time to train.
What?
I'm gonna teach you how to kick their asses. We're starting right now. Get ready.
The Echo is part of the game, by the way. It wasn't me.
Why the shrine?
A shrine is the perfect place for special training.
A shrine is the perfect place for special training. Oh, I read that for some reason. I don't know why.
It is?
You feel better when you train in quiet, serene places like this.
Sure, whatever.
First, I'm going to teach you 4 secrets to becoming stronger. Follow these 4 rules, and you will acquire power beyond your wildest dreams.
Date, are you playing a character or something?
I'm not Date. While we're in training, I am Master.
Yeah, that was a little weird, man. Alright. Mental preparation is the point. Be quick to act crucial. Too quick to act is crucial. Everyday life is dire points. The key to victory is to kill the heart. God damn that first one.
In a
Mental
fight,
prep.
you must first be victorious in your mind.
Like thinking I'm not gonna lose?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well.
I do the same mental preparation before going to a strip club. Before I go in, if I tell myself that they're all out of my league, then they will be. The mental fight has begun the moment I put my hand on the door.
Yeah, I see. Actually, no. That's stupid.
I agree. Be quick to act is crucial.
Mizuki, do you know how to win any fight against any opponent?
Don't get in a fight in the first place?
That is a respectable answer. But no, the way to win any fight is this. Hit them first, and hit them hard enough to finish them.
I kinda get it, but...
Of course, I'm not saying that's how you should behave. But thinking about this will make a big difference in a real fight.
Yeah, okay, I get it, but... Seriously, Date, are you like acting or something?
Not Date, Master.
No. Alright, everyday life is a dire points?
Why?
The best training you could ever have is to be mindful during your everyday
You know, look at,
life.
see if my YouTube video. Yep, my video uploaded. And I've officially on YouTube now. That's a thing now. Let me make sure it uploaded good. Looks like it. Alright, officially a YouTuber then.
Diet and exercise form a strong body. And if you are always maturing intellectually and emotionally, you will always be able to anticipate your enemy's first move.
I get it. But you're so messy. Does that mean you can't fight?
Hark. The blowing of the wind through the trees.
What?
You can't just say something cool to avoid my question.
Was that cool? The key to victory is to kill the heart.
Like, when you get into a fight, aim for the heart?
No, it's the opposite. You must kill your own heart, Mizuki.
What do you mean?
If you are going to fight, you must suppress any mercy or emotional attachment.
Cobra Kai, no mercy.
If you have even a mote of sympathy within you, it will be impossible to fight to your potential. Do not think of your opponent as a man. Think of them as a target, a punching bag or a board.
Just a punching bag. Huh.
Anyway, practice these 4 truths, and you will get stronger.
This sounds like a scam.
Believe in me. If you do as I say, you'll be thanking me in time.
Are you sure?
Right, how about we do a baseline test? Show me what you've got.
Huh? How?
Well, let's see. How about you throw a punch? I can guess your strength from that.
If you say so, I'll give it a shot.
Alright.
First, close your eyes and concentrate.
Like this?
Exactly. Then, punch forward.
Huh? Yeah, that's my face. I think Mizuki is
How is
OP.
that?
You don't have to be nice. I know I'm weak.
Hey, by the way, did you swing back at those bullies?
No, I didn't do anything. There were a bunch of them. I didn't think I could.
I see. She doesn't know her own strength.
I suppose not.
Mizuki, let's just say I think you should be more confident in yourself.
Really?
But never ever strike your master. That
Smart
is a
man.
must. Yeah, you're right. In fact, you're so strong you scare me sometimes.
Well then,
No, I can't take you with me.
why not?
Because I took responsibility for you. I promised Renju. I can't put you in danger.
That's not fair. Bringing up Daddy.
Iris and Ota feel the same way. They don't want you hurt either. You have to understand, Mizuki. If I need your help, I'll let you know. When the time comes.
Really?
Yes,
Promise?
I promise. Let's go, Iva.
Where to?
Alright. And that is what I'm going to call it. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Roger. And also, officially, my YouTube debut is now live. So this will be kind of fun. Thank you guys for showing up. I'll see y'all tomorrow for some Madden. And peace.